Hello, my fellow arts and crafters or crafties. Here we go with the final Under the Sea theme video for you to make. So you can see behind me, I've hung up the things that we made in the previous video. So we've got some fish, some shark, some jellyfish and angelfish, and today we're going to learn how to make the final elements of it, some seaweed. And we are going to also show you how to make a crab. Nice addition to the Under the Sea creations. So very easily we start with some seaweed. All you need is a page, a coloured crayon or pencil, and your imagination. And just draw on the page some seaweed with a nice shade of green or some dark colour, and then you can either stick it up on the wall, which will make a nice backdrop for your Under the Sea theme, or you can cut it out and have the individual strips of seaweed and put those around the different fish that you have. So if you're going to do something like this, a way to save some paper, because you'll be cutting out the white parts in here between the leaves. So a good way to get a double amount of seaweed out of there would be to colour in the white bits in between those with a different darker green. Okay, so we'll just do this very roughly to show you, and maybe use some black to make that stand out a bit. It can be difficult to see some of the things on the camera here. So then as you're cutting these out, you're getting light green and dark green. So that's one way to do it, and then you'll end up with, you can either keep them together as one plant, and you can even maybe curve it so that it looks nice and nice effect, or you can cut them out in single strips and put those wherever you want. Okay. So that's the seaweed, and that will give you a nice Under the Sea theme. And then we want to move on to the crab. Okay, so a number of different ways that you can do this. Very simple. You can use card, you can use paper. I had a thought of, I thought card was maybe a bit thick to work with, paper was a bit thin, so I had a thought of maybe getting some Pritt stick or PVA glue, glue two pages together, and you can maybe even use paint or markers, whatever you've got to colour in. So this is my attempt at gluing two pages together, and then I coloured it with some red paint for the crab. So basically for the crab you need to draw an oval shape for the body, and then I have drawn the pincers, the arms with the pincers, and the legs here for the crab. And then the rest of the page is going to be cut out and stuck down underneath the crab. The strips of paper will be glued in underneath to give the crab a nice 3D rounded body. Okay, so what you do is you don't have to draw the pincers and the legs in. You can just do the cutting out with the strips of paper like this. I can just show you. But it is a good idea to draw the body so that you have that shape initially, and you know where to cut the strips of paper down to. So you could just do this the entire way round and fold the ones under. Okay, that are going to form the body of the crab. So fold those in underneath, and the ones that are going to form the pincers and the legs, you would leave those up on top. So just cut the rest of the way round. Okay, just do this very quickly. Okay, and if you have some irregular shapes like these corner bits, just fold them in, and then eventually when we get all the way round, we will either use some sellotape or some Pritt stick or PVA glue to glue those down. Now what I would advise is to give the crab a nice rounded shape, is to try and make some loops with these pieces of paper that are folded. So don't flatten them down, make a loop and stick them down that way, and then eventually you'll end up with something like this. So crab shape, and then paper in loops folded underneath to give a rounded nice body for the crab. So with this one I didn't draw the pincers in or the legs, so I just kept these up as I've tucked the rest of them down. What I could do is cut out some pincers and stick those on, and then also for the eyes, cut out some eyes and stick them on. So just to show you the shapes that you would need, just a U shape, and that would form the pincer. So we would just glue that on to the front arm of the crab to give the nice claw pincers, and then the eyes something like this shape, and if you give a bit of length on the stalk here, means that you can then fold that in half, and then you glue this bit down to the top of the crab. So then his eyes will be sitting up on the stalk. Okay, and obviously you would need two eyes, and they're really fun and easy to make. So eventually then you'll end up with the crab with the pincers and the eyes, and then it's time to decorate. So you can use paint, crayons, marker, whatever you have, and colour in the crab a nice red colour, or even a pink, orange. They have different shades, the crabs come. And then it's time then for the crab and the seaweed to be added to your under the sea scene, and that completes your under the sea journey. So you can either hang them up so that they're moving around so it looks like they're underwater and you've got a bit of motion, or you can put them in a backdrop of maybe a piece of cardboard where you can draw in a nice under the sea scene on some cardboard, and stick the fish and the jellyfish and the crabs to that, and have a nice background there. So it's up to you, get creative with it and use your imagination, and anything that you find difficult as a problem when you're creating these things and you find a good way to overcome them, we would appreciate if you would let us know and we can share that information. And as always, anything that you create, get some photographs and pop them up on our Facebook page, and we can share those with everyone else, and we'll combine all of the ideas and have a fun time then. So stay tuned for the next video, and we'll be making something else. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.